special shout out, as the young people say nowadays, to those of you breastfeeding your kids as you watch the show. A lot of women tell me that they watch the show while they're up late feeding their children, which is very intimate, you know, a mother, her child, and me looking at them in the dark. And so this story, I think, is of particular interest to you. There is a nationwide shortage of baby formula. Part of the reason is because of the supply chain issues. Part is because of a recall. And a lot of the shortage, the bulk of it, in fact, is because of this kid hogging it all up for himself. Their authorities are warning parents now, and this is serious, not to try to make your own baby formula. I don't know. I'm sure the ivermectin and bleach people could figure this out for you. Just mix you up some Gatorade and some baking powder, throw in a breakfast sausage, and blend it up real good. The baby should be fine. That is a tough spot to be in, not having baby formula, because what are you going to do? You can't go to Wendy's and get them a Frosty. You have to have the formula. And I'll tell you, there's never been a better time for the Supreme Court to force women to have more kids than right now. Speaking of babies, Elon Musk says that if his deal to buy Twitter goes through, he will reverse the ban on our infant former president, Donald Trump. Musk said banning Trump from Twitter was a morally bad decision, to be clear, and foolish in the extreme. Oh, good, we have the part-time DJ who makes flamethrowers and cars that fart in charge of morality now. The guy who named his kids Roman numerals will make sure they don't do anything foolish. But if Trump does go back on Twitter, he's going to need a phone, which he claims he doesn't have. Trump, as you may know, is being held in contempt right now by a judge in New York for refusing to testify or for refusing to hand over 4 cell phones that were subpoenaed by the state. He's being fined $10,000 a day. So far, he's been fined $150,000, which is, you know, that's silencing porn star money. That's serious money. Trump claims he no longer has the 4 phones they want. They were provided to him by the Trump Organization, nor does he have 2 flip phones he carried or a Samsung phone he brought with him to the White House. In fact, this is the only phone he has right now. And Trump says he authorized his attorneys to search Mar-a-Lago and to search his condo at Trump Tower and his mansion in New Jersey, and lo and behold, nothing turned up. One of his lawyers claims she even searched his nightstand looking for it, and nothing turned up, which, you know, some people might believe it's suspicious when phones all of a sudden go missing.
She made 13 phones disappear, some with a hammer.
13 phones disappear, some with a hammer.
13 phones disappear, some with a hammer.
The disappearance of 13 phones, some of which were hammered, boom. Has anybody, when you got rid of your phone, hammered it? Raise your hand. Anybody destroy your phones before with a hammer? Anybody?
I've gotten rid of a lot of phones. I've never hit them with a hammer.
I get rid of phones. I've never hit them with a hammer.
I've gotten rid of cell phones, and I throw them away.
No, it's called you throw it out, right?
I throw them away, I get a new one, right?
You throw out your phone, you start all over again.
That's just what he does with his wives, too. It's very... It's a credo more than anything. Trump says he hasn't used email, text messages, or a computer for work in more than a decade. And I actually believe that, because I can't imagine him sitting at a laptop doing work. Here's how I bet Trump works. He probably has some, like, former strip club bouncer works for him, named, like, Vinny St. Cleveland or Bobby Cabbage or something, who stands outside his bathroom with a briefcase full of Diet Cokes while Trump shouts things like, "Put an offer in to buy the Indian Ocean" through the door, and then Vinny or Barbie will use a burner phone to call some Republican with an ulcer who has to explain that the Indian Ocean isn't for sale. And by the time he gets done, Trump's already asleep on the toilet. When he wakes up, it's time to climb into a golf cart and eat a pie, right? So that's how it goes. The other big league question is whether Trump will be asked to sit for an interview with the January 6th committee. The committee has questioned almost 1,000 people so far, including Ivanka, Jared, and Don Jr., but they're reportedly, for whatever reason, still on the fence about interviewing Trump and or former Vice Poodle Mike Pence, which, I don't know. I say not only should they interview Mike Pence and Donald Trump, they should interview them together like a Real Housewives reunion special. Or maybe just turn the whole interview over to a professional.
Were you silent or were you silenced? I just want to make it clear to everybody, there is no subject that's off limits.
I'll be interviewed by you. I'll be interviewed by the worst killers that hate my guts.
What?
They hate my guts. There's nothing they can ask me that I won't give them a proper answer to.
The only thing that's wrong about that narrative is everything.
Sounds like there was a breaking point.
It was all a scam. It was all false. Oh. I made a bad decision on one bad decision.
Wait, hold up. Wait a minute.
Look at my African American over here. Are you the greatest?
Wow.
Oh, wow, indeed. That's a big one right there. I'm surprised Mother Pence let Mike sit down with another woman, to be honest with you. Meanwhile, Oprah's former protege, Dr. Oz, is running for Senate in Pennsylvania, where I guess he lives now. I don't know. The primary election is a week from today, and Dr. Oz, who's trying very hard to pretend to be a MAGA Republican, wants everyone to know that he has a friend at Mar-a-Lago.
President Trump endorsed me because he said I was smart, tough, and I will never let you down.
President Trump endorsed me because he said specifically, I'm smart, I'm tough, and I will never let us down. The conservative views that I have are endorsed by President Trump. President Trump knows I'm a conservative person.
President Trump endorsed me, calling me America first. And again, this is why President Trump endorsed me. The reason President Trump endorsed me, and he gave a lot.
My focus is to do what President Trump endorsed me to do.
President Trump endorsed me.
Well, President Trump endorsed me. That's why President Trump endorsed me.
President Trump.
President Trump. President Trump. President Trump. President Trump. President Trump.
President Trump endorsed Dr. Oz for Senate.
I'm Dr. Mehmet Oz, and I approve this message.
Yeah, that's not something to be proud of, Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz is so... All of a sudden, he's convinced there was election fraud. He's pro-gun. He's kissing up to Ted Nugent. It's embarrassing. At this point, Bill Cosby is a more credible TV doctor than Oz. But the truth is, the truth doesn't matter anymore until you get sued. And one of the right's favorite fake news channels, OAN, has finally been forced to fess up. Yesterday, they had to run a pre-recorded segment admitting there was no widespread voter fraud, which is like their whole thing perpetrated by Georgia election workers in the election in 2020. It was apparently part of a settlement that came out of a defamation lawsuit. And I have to say, it's definitely the most honest OAN has ever been.
All right, we now provide you with this updated report from Georgia officials. Take a listen.
Georgia officials and One American News Network have reached a settlement which requires the following statement. As a result of our asses being sued raw, the cowards who run this network feel it's not worth losing their expensive votes over the stories we made up about election fraud. As part of our settlement, OAN is also legally obliged to acknowledge that we know you, our old and mentally simple viewers, will buy more of the arthritis cream we advertise if we scare you into believing Bill Gates can hack into your brains to steal your lucky lottery numbers, and communists are turning your grandchildren into transsexual furries. None of what we say is even remotely true. The staff and management at OAN News would like to wish you...
Are your arthritis flare-ups keeping you from having fun with your soon-to-be gay grandkids?
Wait a minute, I guess... Oh, maybe they butted up against some commercial time, but... Good for them for finally. We got some major motion picture news yesterday. Well, long last, the trailer from Avatar: Way of Water was released. The first Avatar is still the highest-grossing movie ever. Came out 13 years ago in 2009, 3 Winter Olympics ago. The premise of this movie, the sequel, is water. A lot of water. There's so much water in this trailer. It should be called Dasani the Movie. Apparently, there are 3 more sequels coming out after this one. One in 2076, one in 3033, and then in a century named later. But for now, we have Zoe Saldana, Sam Worthington, and Sigourney Weaver returning with some exciting and familiar superstar additions to the cast.
Hi, guys. This planet is crazy. You want to do some yoga? Hey, where you guys going?
I know one thing. Wherever we go.
Oh,
This family. Is our fortress.
Whatever you say, man.
He's half Navi, half Smurf. It's very cute. This is something I wanted to get to last night. We ran out of time. So in Texas over the weekend, MMA light heavyweight Joel Bauman beat Reese Forrest at Fury FC 61. And after the fight, delivered what was perhaps the most unnecessarily honest post-fight interview of all time.
Last fight, I was tired. I was exhausted. I'm about to launch this NFT that's going to change the fight game. And I put in 30 all-nighters before that fight. I had herpes before that fight, 2 outbreaks in the span of a week. I'm here. I'm healthy. Let's go. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Well, I think we just found our next bachelor. Today's big sports story is that Tom Brady's already lined up his next gig. Tom Brady has signed a long-term deal to become the lead NFL analyst for Fox Sports once he decides to retire from playing. There are rumors that it is a 10-year, $375 million deal. See, his father always told him, make sure you have a backup plan in case the whole football thing doesn't pan out. And he did. Fox says this job is waiting for Tom whenever he stops playing, which I have very bad news for him. Tom Brady will be playing 3 years after he's dead. Tom Brady is not going to stop playing. Tom, of course, plays for the Buccaneers in Florida, where they're hard at work right now scouring textbooks for offensive content. The Florida Department of Education is banning textbooks that don't fall in line with their idea of family values right now, which is a vague umbrella to be under. No one seems to know exactly what they're looking for in these textbooks. And so to try to understand it, we've been looking to find somebody to talk to. We found somebody, we invited her. She's one of the actual textbook reviewers in Florida, and she's standing by. And say hello to Tammy Tate. Hi, Tammy. How are you?
Hi. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for doing this. So you're a volunteer textbook reviewer there in the state capitol, right?
That's correct, I am.
Okay, so now, I have to be honest, I've read about this, but none of it makes much sense to me. Can you walk me through the process? Like, what specifically are you looking for?
Okay, mostly the devil. So...
The devil, like Satan the devil?
No, not Satan specifically, okay? Just more like his handiwork, you know? Like, okay, for example, this math book, if you want to call it that. Let's see, this problem. Do you see this?
Yeah, I do. Which one? Okay, Chen drinks 6 more glasses of water than Becky. Becky drinks 5 glasses of water. How many glasses of water does Chen drink? Okay.
Chen drinks 6 more glasses of water. Now, how is that fair? Okay, white girls get thirsty too. Is Chen some kind of chia pet?
Well, I don't think race has any. I think it's just a math problem.
Well, I think it's a problem. I mean, why does Chen get 6 more glasses of water than my daughter?
Wait. Becky is your daughter?
Well, yeah, she was until she died from dehydration because Chen drank all her water.
Okay, Tammy, you know, I don't think that that has anything really to do with any of the stuff that you're worried about here.
Okay, of course. So, look at this one.
Okay.
Look at this one here.
Okay, Andy says he can find 9 plus 5 by starting with a 9 plus 1 equals 10. What do you think about it? Okay, okay, all right.
Okay, why is this hussy wearing a leather jacket? Okay? And why is this little boy looking at me like that with his neck all crooked? And why is his hand in his pocket? What's he got in there, a drug? Or maybe a gay boner?
Well, wait a minute. I'm not sure this is... Okay, you know what? I think I should say goodbye because I don't know that we're...
Okay, yeah. I'm canceled now. You're canceling me. No,
I'm not...
I'm not going to let you cancel me. Look at this. Look at this.
What? Social and emotional learning, the quest for knowledge. Oh, yeah, you guys don't like social and... That's a big, like, buzzword, social and emotional learning.
No, we don't like musicals.
Oh.
Math for musicals? You start singing and dancing during math, next thing you know, my cute little heterosexual 12-year-old son, Keaton, is going to be asking me to get him and his little baby in friends a Technicolor Dreamcoat for Hanukkah.
Well, wait, you're Jewish?
No, I'm not, but if this math book had its way, I would be. We all would be Jewish.
Oh, I can't argue with you on that. But so what are you doing with all the books you ban? This is a lot of... I mean, it seems wasteful to just throw them away.
Well, we've been recycling them.
Oh, all right. Well, that's surprising. That's good, I guess.
We've been making them into these little fire starters.
Oh, okay. Now, Tammy, you're inside a school right now, so maybe that's not a great idea.
Well, the school is infested with critical race theory. We got to burn it down and start over, just like we did when I had bed bugs for the first time.
Okay, well, the first time. All right. Well, goodbye, Tammy. Thank you.
Goodbye, gay world.
Okay, thank you, Tammy. That was... That was a woman named Tammy. Thanks for watching. If you liked that video, click the subscribe button. And if you didn't like it, well, you hurt my feelings.